Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great, thanks.
Are you ready for me?
I am ready for you.
So welcome to this week's video. I am joined by my dear friend, Dr. Fred Aguilar, board-certified plastic surgeon
Yes.
here in Houston. You've received a lot of accolades over the years and whatnot for the work that you do in
Thank
this
you.
town. And you are not only a great surgeon, but you're a dear man and friend. And so
Thanks, Dominique.
I love you and I trust you. And I have you here with me in this video for a very important reason. The ladies on my channel who watch and follow ask a lot of questions about beauty. And as you know, beauty can be makeup, but it can also be skincare, and it can also be plastic surgery or injections and ways to enhance youth and to bring back or maybe even restore a more youthful look. So one of the big questions is Botox, and that's what I want to talk to you about today. You're my Botox provider, and I'm a stickler for a certain look
Right.
in my forehead. And let's first of all talk about what Botox is and what it isn't.
Botox is a paralyzing agent, so it works to stop the movement of the muscle. And the muscle that we're paralyzing are the muscles that are responsible for causing the wrinkling. So by paralyzing that muscle, it means you no longer have the wrinkling occurring. And that's why it's important to start earlier in age than later in age.
Interesting. And Botox is not a filler. There's sometimes a misconception that Botox fills wrinkles, but that's not what it does.
That's a very good point to make. A lot of people come in and they really need filler versus Botox, or they're confused about the fact that yes, what you said is absolutely correct. Botox is not a filler. It only paralyzes muscle. So frequently we have patients that need Botox coupled with a filler to help eradicate the lines that have already been etched due to the extreme movement that they've had over the years.
That makes sense. So what are the most common areas for Botox use?
Botox use works great for forehead wrinkles, the glabella wrinkles.
What's
which
that?
are
That's
the
a big
areas
fancy name.
Between the two medial
The frown
aspects.
lines.
Right.
Yes.
The number 11s that
Okay.
everybody talks about, that's the glabella area.
All right.
And so it is a big, important area. And we actually do Botox around the eyes as well, because it helps create and stop crow's feet from developing.
Got it. And I think a lot of women, and I know this was why I initially came to you, getting those frown lines, those 11s, that in my case were genetic, and my mother had them, I have them, I developed them early on. You look frustrated all the time when you're really not. And so for me, the purpose of Botox was to eliminate that frustrated look and also to prevent the Shar-Pei thing from setting in the forehead.
Exactly. It's a look of frustration, and
Yeah.
sometimes people look angrier.
Yes.
So other people wonder, well, why are you so angry today? Why
Yeah.
are you looking that way? And so you're right, smoothing that area out makes it a more youthful look. It also eliminates that look of you being worried or upset.
Let's talk about one of the biggest issues with Botox, and that is placement. And I think what scares women away is that trademark Botox look of this. And not every Botox job will turn out that way. It has to do with the placement of the botulism, correct?
Exactly. And one of the things that we have to help some women remember is that just because an eyebrow elevates doesn't mean that that's a more youthful look. In fact, I like a more horizontal eyebrow because I think a more horizontal eyebrow is a more youthful eyebrow.
It
for
is.
sure. If you look at an 18-year-old young lady, those eyebrows are pretty
They're straight.
horizontal, and it's a really great look.
Yeah.
And it's more youthful. It's the older women who've had overarching of eyebrows that give away their age. And so if we can get an eyebrow to look more horizontal, in reality, that's a better look.
And how do you achieve that? Where does the Botox go in that case?
Well, we put the Botox in an area that allows us to define the arch of that eyebrow. So if we want to drop this part right here, we add a little bit right there. We don't use as much there as we would in the center area because we want this to be much more still. because we still want you to rise just a little bit.
Correct.
And to have some movement. And that's what we try to achieve with you. And I think we consistently hit that, where we get a very good balance of keeping your eyebrow horizontal,
right,
but still letting you show some movement.
And that's important.
On the TV.
That's very, and I think that's important for all women. You don't want to be frozen, and you don't want to look perpetually surprised.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And I'm glad that you agree with the concept of a more horizontal eyebrow, because
it's important
I have
to me.
A lot of patients that just don't seem to get that that's true.
Yeah. Good. All right. So we're going to start.
Yeah, let's start. Yeah, so I'm going to start with doing the middle area, which causes the 11s, and we're going to just do a series of shots in here. It won't hurt, and I hold pressure after each shot,
okay,
so that you don't bleed.
Yeah, I'm all made up, and I got to go to work, Fred.
I know. We're going to make sure that.
Hold it back.
And just hold it down for a minute and make sure that there's no bleeding.
Right.
And you're doing great.
Just feels like a little, I don't know, an ant sting maybe.
Sting,
yeah. And so there's really no numbing. I mean, you can do sort of the bag of frozen peas if you're really sensitive to this.
Right. We have a few patients that like to have the ice pack put on. We have maybe a handful that like to come in 30 minutes and apply a numbing medicine.
Got it.
But 80% of the people come in with no anesthesia and no ice, and they do just great.
Yeah. I think once you sort of know what to expect, then it's like a bikini wax. You just go in and bite the bullet.
Exactly. Raise your eyebrows, and I frequently have my patients raise while I'm doing it. Okay, relax again, and then I know more or less where I want to put it. And with you, I'm going over more laterally because we want that eyebrow to be transverse, more horizontal, meaning.
Right.
Raise your eyebrows. Good. And again, just hold pressure, and that it's hopefully, if there's going to be any bruise, it's going to be a pinpoint little bruise right where the needle went in, but it shouldn't be really bad.
I've never had bruising on my forehead. Never.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
And if so, I mean, it's easily covered with concealer. Also, how long does it take for the Botox to take effect? It's not instantaneous.
It is not instantaneous. Some people, it seems to work almost overnight, but for most people, between 5 to 10 days is the full time that it takes to kick in fully.
Right. So you don't want to come back and start correcting until it's fully settled in, right?
At least 7 days to 10 days. I'd like to see them.
Okay.
Okay, raise your eyebrows. Good. See, I like where we are. We've done it just where we need to.
Okay.
And we're going to go ahead and do around your eyes now.
Okay.
And it's just going to be right here where the crow's feet tend to happen.
So what that does,
shots.
when you do a real big smile, it prevents that really strong
wrinkling.
Yeah, that kind of squinty wrinkling that takes place on the outside.
And one of the great things about you is that you have started with Botox well before all these wrinkles have been etched into the skin.
Right.
And so right now, when the Botox kicks in, the skin looks smooth and wrinkle-free.
That's
so
true.
that is why you're getting such an ideal response. Unfortunately, we get people in here who have already had the wrinkles embedded or etched into their skin, so the Botox will stop the movement, but it won't make those wrinkles disappear.
And that's when you have to move on to a filler.
That's exactly right.
I see. Okay.
Exactly
so that's why you say
just turn your head a little bit like that.
The earlier the better.
Exactly. Very good. You're being very cooperative today. You're not bleeding at all.
Thank you. Maybe it's you who's being cooperative.
Maybe so.
It's
That's
teamwork.
Wonderful.
That's great.
Yep, very good. I'm very
Super.
happy. Bring your eyebrows together one more time. Okay, I'm going to do one more touch right in the center, near where the nose meets that area. Just to stop that little bit of pulling downward that occurs there.
Okay.
It's still part of the 11s, though. It's
Got
all
it. It's the lower part of the 11.
exactly
It's the base.
Exactly. Now, having said all of that, you're doing really well, and even with you, who I know and have been treating for a long time, I still want to see and hear from you in a week or two and see how you did.
And you're always so great about that, because you'll call or text and follow up and say, how's everything doing? Is it settling in? Are you happy? Let me know if you need to come back.
Right. Or I'll text and say, haven't seen you for a while now.
That's usually a good sign. It means everything is A-okay.
That's true. All right, I think we can stop
call it a day
for that.
Fantastic. So you'll be able to see, and I can do a follow-up with you in about a week for my next video and let you know how things are going.
That'll be great. I look forward to it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Fred.
My pleasure.
Okay, so with anything that you do, as you've learned, the key is to research, to ask a lot of questions, and also to find a capable provider.
Exactly.
Yeah, board certified plastic surgeon always helps, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's very important, all that training.
Okay, thank you, Fred.
Thank you. Love you.
Love you too. Be bold, be blessed. I love you too. And I'll see you next time.